Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, June 5th, 2016, and this is your fun fact of the day. It's called the resurrection, the idea that Jesus, being dead, came back to life. He was resurrected from the dead and was alive again. This sort of concept actually causes a lot of trouble for people who don't believe, non-Christians, non-believers in general. It's a very difficult concept to grasp because, as far as all the things that we consider permanent, death is pretty much one of them. Yet, the Bible is absolutely, completely, unyieldingly firm that this is exactly what happened. We get an example of this coming to us from Luke 24. People are on the road. There's two guys walking from Jerusalem to a small village 7 miles away. And they're talking with themselves about, well, all these things that happened. This takes place on Sunday after the resurrection. So Jesus has been crucified. They saw this, or at least heard about it. Died, was buried, and then the empty tomb has been found this morning. And now they're on their way to Emmaus, that village 7 miles away, and they're talking with themselves about everything that had just happened. And while they're walking, Jesus himself comes near. It travels with them. And they starts talking with them about all the things that had happened. They didn't recognize him, but he's still going there with them. And this is where it gets difficult for people to understand. If Jesus actually died, especially by the way that he was killed, he's not going to be out doing any kind of long distance traveling, especially not walking. It's crucifixion. Absolute and complete trauma on the feet, especially. So there's these theories that have all sorts of things to do with as far as how to handle this supposed resurrection business. One of these is called the swoon theory. The idea that Jesus did not actually die on the cross. He merely swooned, fainted, passed out, and was presumed dead. Let me show you all the holes in that theory. First of all, that's insulting to the Romans. Here was an empire nearing the height of its overall strength, owning most of Europe, significant amounts of Africa, and having a great foothold in Asia. And this is an empire that got to be so big just because they knew how to actually handle people, large quantities of people, especially insurrectionist type people, people that would cause rebellions. They had a lot of creative ways to kill people, especially slowly. Don't Google Roman ways to die unless you have a strong stomach. That's just a fact. To say that the Romans simply failed to kill Jesus is absolutely insulting to the Romans' methods and techniques. It's also a lot of faith to put in the human body's ability to just shrug things off. Survive, yes, not just ignore. Consider all the things that Jesus went through. This is the second point. All the things that he went through leading up to his actual death. He was awake the entire day before, through the night, was arrested, beaten, interrogated, flogged, whipped, and lashed, had to carry over 100 pounds a great distance, was nailed to some wood for 6 hours, having his entire body weight borne on 3 nails, one at each hand, one through both feet. He has his entire body weight on 3 pressure points, just hanging there for 6 hours, at the end of which, he didn't break his legs, like they commonly would. At the end of the day, they would come along and break whoever was crucified. They'd break their legs so they couldn't hold themselves up to breathe anymore, because by this point their diaphragm is being crushed and they can't even breathe under their own body weight. So they didn't break his legs because they realized, he already looks dead, let's check. They drove a spear under his rib cage and out came blood and water. Nothing about him flinching, nothing about him screaming. No, they're like, yep, he's dead. His body gets taken down that day, rolled into a carved out hole in some rock nearby, and is placed under a guard, Roman guard, and sealed with a giant rock in front of the hole of this tomb, and he's there for days, with these holes in his hands, his feet, and under his ribs. After enduring all that, people are simply just going to believe that, there's no way he came back from the dead, he just simply wasn't dead. You're going to believe that he just went on a 7-mile jaunt after suffering all that? No. Simply no. So your fun fact of the day is up to you as far as what you want to take out of it. You can take this swoon theory, you can take whatever theory you want and just simply adapt it to whatever fits your mind and allows you to ignore the alternate possibility here. The alternate fact that I fully believe in is that this man died, was fully dead, and then was not. Resurrection. Definition of it. Hope you've enjoyed this fun fact of the day. See you tomorrow.